The following programme has not been approved by any sanctioning bodies associated with MLS, US Soccer, or Don Garber. It is not intended to replace actual informed opinions from soccer experts. Side effects may include propensity to spout bad takes, excessive use of salary acronyms, and a longing for the return of running penalty kicks. The World Scam is not responsible for increased enthusiasm for Major League Soccer after listening. Enjoy at your own risk.
Hey, you. Welcome back to the World's Game. So happy to have you here. Kevin Wallace along with the Chief and Grayson. Grayson, I got to know, it's our final episode of 2025 for the World's Game. How are we feeling tonight?
Happy to say goodbye to this MLS season.
Yeah,
I think it was fun, but I don't know. I feel like, especially with Miami just coming in and dominating the playoffs, it just felt a bit anticlimactic.
Yeah. There was a air of inevitability about how this season worked out, and it started probably right around after the League's Cup break, where I don't know, it sort of felt like everyone thought that Philadelphia was going to win Shield, but they weren't the best team, that LA was the hottest team, but that Miami was going to somehow win anyway. And it kind of turned out that it went that way.
Yeah, everybody was right.
Everyone was right, and there were some good games over the course of the year. I'm trying to struggling to think of how I want to phrase this. There were some good games down the stretch, but not a ton of drama in the results. So I think overall I would say the script writers got it right in terms of how this season played out.
Mm-hmm.
But I am eager to move on now and see if, something unexpected can happen next year. And if we can get some intrigue in the winter window as we do our last season under the current schedule. And I'm eager to see what the reaction is around the league to this Miami win and sort of the general trend that the league is going towards, which is the level of DP is ratcheting up. And somebody else pointed this out to me earlier today, that this will be, I think, the fourth consecutive year that the number one XG team in the league wins MLS Cup. So there's very much a path that I think more general managers are going to have to go down if they want to be one of the top teams in MLS.
Yeah.
There's a very clear blueprint about what puts you at the top of MLS. And I'm eager to see how this evolves and which teams decide they want to follow the blueprint and be part of the elite next year.
Yeah. Yeah, I just to go back to MLS Cup Final though, I think for me, the best game of these playoffs was LAFC versus Vancouver in Vancouver. It was a hell of a game, late drama, stars, hell of an environment. Everything was great, right? Would LAFC have given Miami a better game or a closer game than Vancouver ultimately did in the final?
I don't know. I mean, Vancouver gave them a close game.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying they didn't. I'm not saying the scoreline looks worse than how the game actually went, I would say.
Well, the third goal was you could toss that one out. That's not really that wasn't really part of the real game action. I mean, how Vancouver's dominated play for long stretches of the game. One long stretch in particular was where Vancouver was doing everything. And they hit a bunch of posts. They put a few more shots off target. They weren't clean with some of their touches around the box, which is a problem. And I think like that really is that was really the big difference, was just not just the posts, which the posts are easy to point to, but Miami's two opportunities were, especially again, I'm throwing the third goal out, especially the second opportunity, right? Like, it's a bad giveaway, and Miami has the quality to like react quickly and make you pay for it, And Miami's, when you give them opportunities, they have the quality to be clean with the ball, right?
And they were efficient with their opportunities all playoffs too.
Yeah, for sure.
That was their pathway through the playoffs, was efficiency.
And that's why, that's not why, but Miami is a weird team in that like they can blow a team out and not really have played all that much better.
Yes.
Right. Because it's like they're just like kind of 1% better for a full 90 minutes every step of the way, right? Or the other team gets like 13 shots, Miami gets 5, but Miami was absolutely perfect on the execution of 4 of them. And so that kind of happened in this game with Vancouver, because there were so many opportunities where if a guy brings the ball down a little bit better, makes his dribble a little bit closer to him when he's taking it into the box, it was there. Like, it was there repeatedly for them. And I'm not really faulting Vancouver, because I said it before the game, like, this is Vancouver's an MLS team. Miami's not.
Right.
And so
right.
when you're an MLS team, kind of the best an MLS team can play is to like have the right ideas, do the right things, make the right choices, and then sometimes your quality just lets you down.
Right.
And that was that was Vancouver's game, I thought. It was, I don't think you could really fault. I mean, obviously the second goal was a bad giveaway, but for the most part, you couldn't really fault how they were approaching the game.
Mm-hmm.
They just, weren't individually good enough to definitively take the game. Even with their faults, they could have taken the game, right? A little bit more luck, they could have taken the game, but they certainly didn't have. It's just kind of, at least for now, it's kind of an unavoidable issue with MLS. Is like, you're not gonna be perfect. You're not gonna be perfectly clean, even if you do everything right.
Yeah. And that's the problem at the end of the day with Vancouver in this game, is that if you look at the advanced metrics in this game, Vancouver outpossesses, outpasses. They are almost dead even on XG with Inter Miami. The difference in this game comes down to the fact that throughout these playoffs, in the biggest moments, Miami does not miss opportunities. And Miami punishes you for mistakes more so than any other team this year, more so than any other team in recent memory in MLS. Yeah. And if you want to beat them, this version of Miami this year, beating them has required playing a perfect game of soccer, where you do not make bad giveaways. You do not allow 1v1, 2v2 opportunities. You do not allow Lionel Messi to have the ball in space with time and the ability to pick out either a pass or a shot. And Miami didn't miss their opportunities in this game. Vancouver, I think you put it perfectly. Vancouver's an MLS team. An MLS team is going to miss about 50 to 60% of the big opportunities that they get in a given game. Miami doesn't do that. Miami converts about 60 to 70% of the big opportunities they get in games.
Yeah.
So they're efficient. They don't need a lot of opportunities to score. And that's why you saw them over the course of this playoffs run the score up on teams, because they don't need a ton of opportunities to score. And when you do give them a ton of opportunities, when you do turn the ball over, when you do start pressing to come back into a game and you start making mistakes, Miami punishes you and puts the game away. They are, for my money, they're about the most impressive team this league has had in a while. The results game in and game out don't tend to show that over the course of the year.
Yeah.
But that's because this team, you could see it happening this year. I mean, people joked that once they announced that, they had some retirements coming with Busquets and Suarez and others, now we've got to win it for them and make them go out heroes. I don't buy that. I think the answer this year was that this was the first year where all of Miami's stars kind of figured out when they needed to turn it on and when they didn't.
Yeah.
And there was a very clear moment in this season where they realized, or they decided, we are going to turn it on. And the energy reserves were there. They hadn't burnt themselves out over the course of the year trying to win Supporters Shield or do any of that other nonsense.
Yeah.
And so when they needed it, they turned it on and they poured it on. And they were on a different level when they made that decision this year.
Yeah. No, you hit on a question I wanted to ask, which is basically, did Miami out-talent these teams in the playoffs and therefore in the final, or did they out-will these teams? Because we've seen Miami lose bad games. We've seen Miami get blown out. We saw Miami not win against Cincinnati earlier this year, right? Like, we know there's a blueprint for them to lose to the teams that they played against.
They lost in Nashville.
Yeah, they lost to Nashville in the best of three, like in these playoffs. So what do you think? I mean, the obvious answer is both, but if you had to choose one or the other, did they out-talent these teams, or did they sort of like out-will them to victory?
I think it's a cop-out answer, but it's both. They're incredibly talented. They're more talented than just about every team they play at any given moment. Miami is the more talented team on the field. And this year, they figured out how and when they needed to go for it. And when were the moments when they needed to absolutely produce moments of quality. And they were picking and choosing their spots. And once they got to single elimination, they were just profoundly untroubled with any of the teams they played. I mean, Vancouver gave them a good game. Vancouver played well. You didn't feel like at any point during that game Vancouver was going to win. Even with the missed opportunities, you didn't feel like, even if Vancouver capitalized on their opportunities, that Miami was going to let this slip away. The quality was too apparent, and they were comfortable letting Vancouver have the ball for most of the game. There wasn't this need to play beautiful soccer. It was a knowledge and a confidence that when we need it, it's there. And they showed that all throughout the stretch run for this team, which is why I say that there have been better teams in terms of, wire-to-wire results. We've seen a couple of them in the last few years. I don't know that there's any team where if you put them on the field over the course of MLS history that is better pound for pound and with the ability to impose their will on other teams at their times of their choosing than this Inter Miami team at the end of the year. I think that this is a high watermark for where the league is, and it should be, given the unique circumstances of how Lionel Messi was brought to this team and what he enables this team to do simply by offering players that want a generational opportunity to play with him the ability to do that if they're willing to be flexible on other aspects of their, shall we say, agreements to perform.
Yes.
Yeah. So, those are good thoughts, I think. And I was thinking about it watching this game, like, what I think it's kind of well speculated, well sourced. I don't know what to say about it. That there's going to be some type of revamping or additional roster rules announced ahead of the World Cup.
Ahead of the World Cup final is the betting odds right now.
Now that Miami got their cup, can we just do it this offseason and let other teams compete? Because they have done everything. They have I'm sorry, but like they have put their thumb on the scale to get the picture of Messi holding MLS Cup. That's done.
Mission accomplished.
Now, can we let other teams, expand their rosters a little bit, or invest a little bit more into the quality on their roster, so that when they do, tactically perform, the ball's not coming to the foot of a guy who
supplemental roster
played
guy
in the Canadian Premier League or whatever,
Right.
because I think that was the promise of Messi the whole time, was that he'll help take the league to a new level, and that doesn't happen if you're not letting other teams spend. I guess it depends how you take it, right? Because if you just let Miami be the juggernaut in the league and become a worldwide brand, I guess that does, in a certain sense, take the league to a new level. But I don't think that's how everybody interpreted it.
Right.
Right? I mean, I think everybody's interpreting that in spending more on rosters, improving the quality of the play. And I don't mean to imply the quality of the play is bad. It's not. But like, obviously, we still always want to see it improve.
Right. I don't think you have to. I don't think you have to struggle hard if you want to be conspiracy theory minded. I don't think you have to struggle hard to come to the conclusion that what the structure of everything that's happening right now with MLS is that we gave Messi and his team and Inter Miami an opportunity to win MLS Cup this year. They'll have another opportunity to repeat next year. And then in 2027, we finally throw the roster rules open right around the time that he's about ready to leave the league. I don't know. Like, I know that, like, if you are an Inter Miami fan, I know that you think this is cope, and I know that you think that this is sour grapes, and you are entitled to think that. Believe me, I think we've said it on the show before.
And you're not entirely wrong,
right?
Because
you're not.
Because nobody would have said no to being put in your spot.
No.
Right? Like,
not at all.
No fans around the league, if presented the chance to have essentially the Inter Miami situation, would have said no.
So much of the angst is rooted in jealousy, right?
Yeah.
Like, not a lot, but there a measurable amount.
But also, you're supposed to be kind of jealous because it's a competitive sport.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And you want your team to win. You don't want other teams to win. So when other teams get advantages, it kind of defeats what you want to see.
Right.
It kind of makes it worse for you in some ways.
Yes.
So I'm not saying that like anybody is wrong for experiencing jealousy at Miami situation, or anybody's wrong for, being willing to accept the Miami situation for their team, or that Miami fans are wrong for wanting their team to win and being happy they won, or any of that. It's just people got different points of view.
Right. And part of the problem too is that the hard part is that I started talking about, we opened up with this idea of what is the takeaway and how does the league move from this direction? And part of the problem with that conversation, and part of what I think is the frustration around watching this Inter Miami team succeed, is that there is no way to replicate the blueprint of Inter Miami. Because by definition, there is only one Lionel Messi. And there is absolutely no one that you can go overseas and sign right now. If you are a team, if you are New York Red Bull, or if you are NYCFC, or you are LA Galaxy, and I'm just listing teams in big markets because I do think that this is a big market specific strategy just because of the type of player that you're looking to attract. I don't think that you're going to find a lot of players that want to sign for Orlando City or Sporting Kansas City. And that's a problem the league is going to have to address at some point. Like, there is going to have to be at some point the league addressing the fact that there are simply places in the United States that are more difficult to recruit international talent to. I don't know what the answer to that is, but it's been a problem in this league for a really long time. And it's only getting worse as the league expands to more places that most people in Europe couldn't identify on a map. It just is a reality. But even if you go out and you say to yourself, okay, who is the biggest star we can sign right now from one of the big leagues in Europe. Who's the biggest name out there? That name, number one, is not as good as Lionel Messi. And number two, does not bring the cachet of drawing people, especially young players, to play with him the way an opportunity to play with Lionel Messi is. It just isn't. There's no one else like him in the world. So what you have here is you have a MLS Cup winning team where for the first time, I think, in league history, there are no notes that other general managers and other teams can take from this success.
Right.
The only thing you can kind of do, which is part of sort of the frustration I think you see in the greater MLS zeitgeist, is the only thing you can do is just sort of wait for this to end. Because there's not a lot that you can do that counters this. There is no reality where, what would you do? Go ask Apple and ask Adidas for the money to sign what? Haaland?
Yeah, right.
Like Mbappe? Like, I don't know I don't know what the equivalent move is that even comes close to replicating the Miami roster build. I mean, maybe Son in LA is the closest that we've got, but Son and Messi, as great a player as Son is, he's, a very significant degree downward from where Lionel Messi is, even now in his career.
A problem is that, like, Messi is idolized by, like, the entire, like, for a lot of the world, right? But in particular, the Spanish-speaking world. The entire continent of South America, the country of Spain. A lot of really good soccer players from there.
Yeah.
Like, basically an unlimited supply.
Yes.
And they're making new ones every day. And so, like, yeah, you can probably go comb through, like, various South American leagues and find a bunch of just really top quality U22s, guys on, like, Allende, guys on the books over at European teams who, are available on loan. Son, I don't know, like, not to denigrate, like, the quality of Asian soccer, but you got to dig a little deeper to find, like, the kind of quality of player that, like, is coming, like, because they love Son
and want to play with Son. Yeah.
But it's going to be limited to one, Korea. So you've already reduced your player pool even further. There aren't
really?
Japanese players.
The Japanese
and the Koreans.
they don't get along.
You would have thought that 2002 World Cup would have mended everything, but
I don't know if you're a history buff.
Turns
to quote Norm
out,
Macdonald,
not 100%. But the other thing is too, where Messi has done a lot of this is former teammates, right? And Son and LAFC by extension have actually got a fair number of Spurs players that currently play Hugo Lloris, previously played Gareth Bale, that, like, they kind of are doing that, but yeah, it's just not Messi, right? So, like, I guess what you'd have to look for is, like, does Neuer go to Vancouver? Right? Like, you need, like, the anchor baby player that then pulls in the other retirees and the German U22.
I mean,
and
Ronaldo, it's probably too late, but, like, Ronaldo would have had an entourage.
Yeah.
Of guys that come with it.
Yeah. Because, like, the entourage has to be twofold. It has to be former teammates that will come at the end of their careers. Old heads. And then young kids who want to play with their idol.
That's it.
Yeah.
Unks and nephews is really what we're looking for.
Yeah, I think Ronaldo would have had that. I don't know who else. I don't really know who else would.
Is Pepe still playing? Oh, you mean with other than them? I mean, there is always the potential, especially post 2026, of the American, immigration back to the United States with McKennie and Pulisic, et cetera, all coming back.
So
I don't see any of those guys taking a below market deal to get to play together, though, is what the problem is. And that's, like, no one, like, it's very difficult to see this replicating itself because there's no one that is idolized. And it really is the idolization is part of the story here, is that the hero worship aspect of being able to play with your idol, the person who you had the poster on your wall, the person now, because, it's 2026, the person you were watching YouTube videos of when you were in grade school or in your academy. Like, that appeal doesn't exist for virtually any other player in the world. And it certainly doesn't exist. There's not a lot of American kids that are growing up right now watching highlights of Christian Pulisic. They're watching Messi highlights. Like, the game has globalized to the point where, no one wants to be Weston McKennie. Maybe there's someone there. Maybe there's someone that does, but like, he doesn't have that pull. Pulisic doesn't have that pull. None of those people have that kind of pull.
The other issue is, like, I do think that it's possible after the World Cup we see like a group of these American national team players who've been playing in Europe, maybe not right after, but at some point they like come back and they all like go to the same team, or a group of them goes to the same team, right? Because you could have a mix of DP and TAM deals and you could see that working out in some way. But like,
and we saw that in the past, by the way. We saw Michael Bradley, Josie Altidore both come back to the United States. Clint Dempsey, similarly. These guys could have had longer careers in Europe. You could say that they were chasing the money in the U.S., but they ultimately did come back and turn down those other opportunities. So there is a blueprint there. But yeah, continue, Grayson.
But you wouldn't have like the young guys on loan from European teams, or the South, like the U22 level prospects.
Yeah,
because our guys just like, we just don't have that many of them, and they're just mostly not on that level.
Or do we not value them because they're American? Like, it's just not worth spending the spot because they're probably a homegrown for somebody else.
I also wonder, to a degree, of like, if you're an American who is already under contract with an MLS team, you're looking at jumping from maybe like a homegrown spot, so a supplemental spot, to a senior spot, and you're already on like X dollars. So I don't know like what necessarily the value proposition is of moving an American from one MLS team to another on a cheaper contract because they want to play with Pulisic. Whereas you can go to South America and like bring a guy on loan, his team has some money, so he's like a sub TAM deal. Or you have a player on, relatively low wages in Paraguay or somewhere who is happy with wages that meet the parameters of a U22 deal. There's also, like, I guess, scale to think of. Like, not a lot of, like, if guys are on contract in Europe, they're probably priced out of U22 spots. Like, if you're a U22 player in a big European league and you're under contract with a senior team, even if you wanted to like follow Muller to Vancouver, your wages price you out of U22.
Right.
Yeah. Or at least you're capping your future earnings by, staying the same for 3 or 4 years.
Right. And it's the difference between taking like a cut or a substantial cut versus taking not as much of a raise right now.
Right.
Which is what I think is the decision in front of like these younger South American guys who are joining Miami. Like, they might have more money, a little bit more money on the table somewhere else, but it's still more than they're making at their current club, and they get to play with Messi.
Yeah. And there's the market dynamics as well of South American player coming to MLS can increase the value for a future transfer or a potential move to then Europe, right? Whereas the equivalent of an Italian or German or Spanish player, I don't know that exists. I think most teams in Europe would view that as that player taking cynically an easy way out, or they're not challenging themselves enough. They should have stayed and iron sharpens iron in the Bundesliga or whatever.
Yeah.
They might even value a move to Austria or Switzerland or Belgium more than a move to the United States. Your mileage may vary, but I think this is, as you said, Chief, this is uniquely a sort of value that Messi's able to bring. I mean, things can change, right? And maybe there are global superstars amongst us at this level that we just can't quite see just yet. But I suspect it dies with Messi as well, unless Mbappe wins the next 2 or 3 World Cups or something like that. Like I think it's maybe done in a year or two.
So, yeah. And the other thing that I guess the last thing that I wanted to touch on with Miami was, we saw how Galaxy was decimated by hitting those options, right? Yeah. And it screwed their cap up. And I've seen a lot of folks say, "Oh, well, this is going to happen in Miami, right? Right?" And even if the league doesn't shave the numbers for Miami, I don't think Miami's in the same situation as as Galaxy were, because if you look at their roster, they have a lot of guys on U22 deals. That's not going to change. There's no way they have bonuses that take them out of U22 deals.
That'd be an insane contract to have written.
one of their TAM guys, who, whatever you think of his deal, who would potentially get some kind of bonus, is Rodrigo De Paul, who is already, assuming they exercise the option, moving up to a DP spot anyway. They're losing 2 DP deals. They've got a bunch of guys on loan who they could just let walk and then replace them, or negotiate new terms in their contract to bring them back. So, like, and then other guys who are sub TAM who aren't on loan, like Ustari, like, they're probably going to look to move on from him. Yarbrough's out of contract. Fafa Pico's out of contract. I hate to say it, but like, it seems like they've done a nice job managing their roster, that they don't look like a team that's going to be in a position that, even if everything is on the up and up, is going to be all that hard hit by bonuses. Like, okay, you give like Messi a bonus, he's already a DP. He's already making like $1 bajillion. Who
Triple
cares?
his salary, it's not going to impact this.
Right.
No, that does get to a point, though, Chief, to go back to something you said way earlier, which was, GMs can't look at this Miami team and learn lessons from it. And to a large extent, I think you're right. There is one lesson, though, that I do think that they can learn.
Move your team to a popular international destination for players to live with great weather year-round.
Absolutely. They started in Fort Lauderdale. They will eventually move to Miami. Brilliant. Great 2 cities to do that.
Love that for them.
No, I will say, moving on from players quickly. Say whatever you want about Miami. They have been willing to buy guys out, trade guys, even potentially below market value, Drake Callender, to just completely change up their roster. They have cycled through their U22s, I think, entirely over the last 2 years. Like, they are constantly churning players, and you could say it hurt them, but I mean, sure, that maybe it has a little bit here and there, but like, they just won the cup. And they did it with a very unproven manager. And sure, the superstars are going to paper over a lot of cracks. But I do think there is something to be gained from that lesson.
Right. Which I think the big lesson that you're saying, and I think it is a good lesson, and that's that you always need to maximize your window. And when you have a team that has championship aspirations and has championship talent, you can't afford to sit on your hands and let the opportunity in the moment pass you by. There's a limited window Lionel Messi is here for Inter Miami. And what you can say about Inter Miami that I think is accurate and flatters them because they deserve it, is that they have not wasted opportunities to make this team better while they have Lionel Messi here. They are doing everything humanly possible both legal and slightly illegal under the MLS roster rules, to ensure that the best possible team is around Messi. And as a result, they now have won Leagues Cup while he's here. They have won Supporters Shield while he's here. And now they have added MLS Cup. They have played in the Club World Cup. They have played in CONCACAF Champions Cup. They are doing everything that they can do to make this situation work and to win while he is here and while he is healthy. And for that, I honestly believe their ownership group should be commended, because there are a lot of ownership groups in this league that do not want to go and do that last extra bit of thing to squeeze every ounce of performance out of their roster, whether that's leaving a unproductive U22 on the roster when you can go out and replace them, whether that's leaving money unspent or not buying out at dead weight on your roster to build the best possible roster for a championship run. A lot of very good ownership groups do that all the time. Inter Miami hasn't done that once.
Yep. So full credit to them. Commiserations to the Vancouver Whitecaps. It was a great season. I think, unfortunately, the championship is played under a cloud of uncertainty about venues and ownership groups next year.
Late breaking news. Apparently, this was just posted to X, the Everything app. It's all happening on X tonight. The city of Vancouver and Vancouver Whitecaps FC are going to make a joint announcement at City Hall on Thursday morning. Mayor Ken Sims and Whitecaps CEO, Sporting Director Axel Schuster will be there.
Wow. Look at that. Okay, I'm glad I brought this up then. That is,
yeah.
I'm learning this from Chief right now, so this is great.
Yeah. So that's coming from a reporter up in Vancouver, British Columbia, from Rob Williams, Rob the hockey guy, which means he has actual bona fides when it comes to sports reporting in Canada.
I trust him more, actually.
Yeah, no, seriously. Writes for the Daily Hive Vancouver, which is a news organization up there. So it sounds like if you want to take some solace away from this, if you're feeling bad about what happened to Vancouver, one of the all-time best MLS seasons, I think, in terms of vibes, from how they started, what they accomplished in CONCACAF Champions Cup, adding Thomas Muller at the window, and it looks like the long-term future, hopefully, of the Whitecaps is being secured with this announcement, which is awesome. Nobody wanted to see this team move. Team relocations suck, especially for teams that are well-supported like Whitecaps are.
Yeah, and, there was reporting. 6 markets had reached out to MLS. A couple of representatives from said markets had even attended that Western Conference final just to, rub elbows with the Don and see what was up. So
ghoulish. It's ghoulish behavior.
Yeah.
But
so
good on you.
Glad to see that there may be some news headed in that way. So Miami are your champions. Unsurprising. But what is surprising is we've got our own awards to give out, Chief. And we got to do that in part 2. So let's get on over there and let's do it. Right, we are back, and as promised, we have the first annual Gammies. I'm not sold on the name, but I can't think of anything better.
I mean, it's right there for us. There's not a lot else we can. I mean, if you want to workshop a better name, I did this in my own free time. So what I say goes. The Gammies, I believe, Kevin Grayson, that at a future date to be determined, the Gammies will be considered one of the prestigious awards that you can win as a entity competing or adjacent to MLS. So I think that this is a high watermark for the league. I love useless award shows. I think more people should participate in useless award shows. I think MLS should have more useless award shows. Like what? We give out MVP,
like
Golden
a week
Boot
after the
Gammies,
season.
like the Grammys.
Oh.
Yeah,
Should there only be like an awards season where we only consider like July to September? Like only your work during this tiny window is what's going to qualify.
The Sockskers.
The socks.
Well, it does raise the possibility now that you can got like Greg Berhalter with the extra G.
Yeah, for sure.
Could potentially call them the Donnies after one Don Garber.
No, he's on his way
Gammies.
out.
Yeah, we're done.
Gammies is timeless.
Gammies is timeless.
I mean, Gam could go away next year. Just
even
still in our
more
name.
reason. Yeah. Not only that, too. Who was Tony? Nobody knows. Who the hell was Oscar?
Antoinette Perry, I believe.
It is.
I always thought it was for
Antoinette
Theater of
Perry.
New York, but I guess that's
Oh,
not
No,
right.
it's short for Antoinette. Tony and Tina's wedding was a same-sex wedding.
There you go. Learn something new every day. See, you learn something when you watch the World Scam or when you listen to the World Scam. So what we've got is we've got some categories here, and I've got some nominees for the group. I'm going to read the category, and I'll read the nominees, and then we will reveal who it is that's taking home the Gammy. And because we're making this up as we go along, if you feel strongly that one of these people or one of these things should win a Gammy, please speak up, and I will change the voting in order to make sure that this person wins or that situation wins. I'm not above that. It's a democracy here.
Wait, we're giving the awards today, right?
Yeah, we're giving the awards today.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all being given today. But like, I've got award winners already picked. But if you change my mind here in the minute.
Oh yeah, and we can.
Yeah,
we can always,
I see. Okay,
we can always.
I thought this was about to be a democracy. No, this is great.
If there's enough force of will, you can always change the result.
That's exactly right.
I like this.
Moonlight, Best Picture. Who knew, right?
Did you ever see the design of that card? By the way, just the worst design card ever. It really feels like that they were truly trying to get somebody to say the wrong
Moonlight
or Moonlight.
I thought he was making a joke about the show Moonlighting, starring Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis, yeah.
I forgot about Moonlight for a second.
Yeah.
But that
Moonlighting, the original show that jumped the shark as soon as they paired the leads up. Very much a precursor to the X-Files.
I've actually never seen it. Moonlight was the correct winner, though. I mean, La La Land. Come on, people.
The only reason
the beginning was good, and then come on, the beginning was good, and the end was good. In the middle,
Well, there's nothing Hollywood loves more than giving awards to movies about Hollywood. So,
oh my god, it's the easiest way to pick the best picture every single year. Which one's about Hollywood? That one, that's gonna win.
All right, so we're gonna start off the awards. We're gonna start off big. The first category for the inaugural 2025 Gammies is Team of the Year. Team of the Year.
It was like a big one.
So the nominees are, we've talked about a couple of these so far tonight. The nominees are Vancouver Whitecaps FC, Inter Miami, San Diego FC.
Why not?
And Pro Referees, the third team.
I was going to say it's the third team.
Third team?
Third team is Team of the Year.
I mean, we've got a lot of good competition here. San Diego FC, what a year.
I'm pretty sure third team was undefeated this year.
San Diego, but I mean, we got to give credit to the expansion side. San Diego, Anders Dreyer, under any other circumstances, would probably have been an MVP award winner, but for Lionel Messi. Inter Miami wins MLS Cup. Vancouver, we talked about. There's a lot of good competition right here, but the Gammy goes to Pro Refs in the third team.
Of course.
So
obviously, yes.
Give it up for Pro Refs in the third team.
I mean, look, it's not on the list here. Could also be a contender for comeback team of the year, given that last year started off with the work stoppage, and now we got our first full year back with them. I well done to the third team.
The third team missed some time last year with the bruised ego.
The bruised wallet.
It is. It will never stop being funny that like they actually refer to themselves and think of themselves as the third team. That feels really weird. Think
we might actually have to explain this. The referee organization that MLS uses, USL uses, lots of colleges use, NWSL uses.
Does USL? I don't think does USL still use them? I thought maybe they didn't.
Oh, that might have changed. But lots of organizations use
I don't remember.
There's also another organization out there that I cannot ever remember the name of. They do a lot of Open Cup games. But they, on social media, refer to themselves as
no, they still use USL still uses them.
But they refer to themselves as the third team. That there are two teams playing, and that they themselves are the third team, which to the three of us has always posed any number of questions. Like, are all of the teams in opposition to each other? Can the third team win a game? Very, very interesting. So,
and not lest you think that we're overemphasizing this. This was a tweet that was sent on December 6th, MLS Cup Day, 2:40 in the afternoon, from PSRA officials, the official account of the referees union.
Yeah, PSRA is the union that represents referees who work for Pro.
Yeah,
right.
So
I'm going to read this.
PRO is a company that employs the referees. I believe PRO
is owned by MLS, I think.
Well, their offices are in MLS's offices. They were started as a joint venture between MLS and US Soccer. I don't know if US Soccer is still like involved with the joint venture, but I believe US Soccer has stopped contributing money to PRO, because you can check the US Soccer's like the US Soccer's a nonprofit, so they have to publish some of their financial documents and to make certain disclosures, and that's where that information is. It's been a while since I've looked at that.
So PSRA officials tweets before MLS Cup. This is the actual referees union. Walking out of the tunnel and onto the field is a special feeling every game. You see and feel the crowd, but also block it out to a degree. It's time for business. It's our last chance to mentally prepare for the tactics we've studied and to focus on the task at hand. I don't know that I love the referees studying tactics. All right, man? Just call the game.
Maybe procedures, maybe best practices. I don't know that tactics need to be a part of that.
Well, what do I know? They're now a Gammy. The Pro Referees third team is now a Gammy award-winning organization. So congratulations to them.
Very impressive.
All right, for our next category, we have Fan Base of the Year.
Okay.
All right. First nominee for Fan Base of the Year is Chicago Fire fans for requiring Greg Berhalter to come over during the MLS Cup playoffs and implore them to stop making horrible chants or the game may be suspended in progress. So
Way to get involved.
Way to get involved. Number 2 is Charlotte SC for starting the tradition of throwing full beer cans in the supporters section during goals being scored and possibly striking other fans in the head.
Somebody was sent to an emergency room, at least an ambulance. Yeah, well done.
Right. Number 3 is Sounders FC, and they're always a nominee in this category for inventing the sport of soccer and soccer fandom in North America.
Can't do it without them.
Right. There is a rule now that if Sounders FC fans are ranked 12th or better over the course of a season, they are automatically entered into this award every year. So
Can I jump in with a fact check of myself from a moment ago?
You may.
Sure. Not a fact check, a clarification. As of the 2024 United States Soccer Federation financial statements, USSF is no longer a member of the LLC agreement for professional referee organization as of December 31st, 2023.
See, this is the podcast.
It looks like Major League Soccer is the only member. Certainly, Major League Soccer is the only member of PRO that we're aware of at this point.
Yeah.
This
is the podcast that live fact checks. That's incredible.
I like that. There could be other owners. All right, Chief, who else is?
And then finally, the fourth nominee to go along with Chicago Fire fans, Charlotte FC fans, and Sounders FC fans. That is Leo Messi stands. And under this, I've just written ja. It has been revealing with Leo Messi in the league, the number of people who seem to solely exist online just to hop in your mentions as soon as you start talking about Leo Messi. It's like nothing I've ever seen before. It reminds me of dealing with Detroit City fans back in the USL era.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like, who has this much free time to dedicate themselves to just being personal protector for a guy they've never met online? Like, I would get it if he was a politician. Maybe. That's
Right.
weird, too.
If he stood for something. He also has, like, no personality.
No.
It's like, what are you latching onto? I mean, obviously he plays soccer good, but like, there's got to be more.
The other thing too is that if you say anything negative about Leo Messi, they do call you a Ronaldo fan, and it's like, my man, I hate both these dudes. All right,
Yeah, what? Come on.
Neither one of these people are good people. So fan base of the year, and the Gammy goes to Sounders FC fans. Congratulations to the Seattle Sounders fan base. Fight and win. I predict this is your first of many in the Gammy Award category right here. So
I like it. I will say, though, I will offer up an early nominee for the QSMNT fans next year, World Cup year. It's going to be a big year for the QSMNT.
They had an off year this year. You know, there was a little bit in the middle of the year, but they just didn't. They weren't on their game this year. So
I mean, if you want to crown their asses, you can crown them, but I'd say they gotta show it. They gotta show out.
So if you are a member of the QSMNT, just know that like you got to step your game up this year. You've got some competition right now.
I'm putting him on my preseason watch list.
There we go.
There.
He's on the Oscar watch right there. The Gammy watch. The Gammy watch, I should say. All right. Next category. They also played soccer team of the year, and the nominees are Houston Dynamo, Sporting KC, FC Dallas, and CF Montreal. All of these teams also played soccer this year.
Are you sure Montreal did?
Pretty sure Montreal played soccer this year.
I don't remember it.
Prince Owusu, I'm pretty sure he was on that team this year.
That sounds familiar.
These are all teams that I went back and looked at. I don't think we talked about more than 5 minutes over the course of the year this year.
It feels like the answer is Kansas City.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I could tell you a single thing that happened to them this year other than signing Dejan Joveljic.
I was thinking as well.
They fired Peter Vermees, I was about to say.
That's neat. Kind of thought that happened last year. I'm with Grayson on SKC because I genuinely believe they are the only team we have literally not said their names out loud this entire season on the World Scam.
I think we talked about Peter Vermees getting fired. I think that if of the list right here, I think Houston Dynamo is probably the team that most also played soccer this year.
All right. I'm not going to fight you.
So, well, we'll see here. FC Dallas, little love to them as well. They signed Lucho Acosta as a designated player and one of the first, I believe we'll give them credit for being the first cash-fer, since it was a cash-fer about the same time FC Cincinnati cash-ferred Evander. So the first cash-fer of any note. So they definitely accomplished something this year in terms of contributing to the MLS zeitgeist. But the Gammy goes to CF Montreal. CF Montreal also played soccer this year. Congratulations to them. They didn't win the wooden spoon, and I feel like that's always a good year for Montreal when they don't win the wooden spoon.
All right.
Chief, it would have been really funny to nominate all those teams and then award it to the Colorado Rapids. I mean, Chris Armas, he had himself a year with the with the Burgundy Report. Was that the name of the a Burgundy Wave?
Burgundy Wave. All right. So the next category is new DP of the year. This is new
Rodrigo
DP.
to Paul. Pass.
All right. Not a DP yet. So
yeah.
Sorry. So the nominees for new DP of the year: Hyun-Min Son,
great choice.
Thomas Mueller,
heard of him.
Anders Dreyer, and then seductive Angela White goes to a Christmas party. I don't know how that got on there, but I'm told apparently that it was a DP that happened this year.
We can question the newness, but continue.
This is a tough category.
That one either was a 2024 one or it just snuck under the wire.
Yeah. Maybe they filmed it at Christmas last year and it just didn't release until this year, and that's why we missed it.
That would make sense.
I'm not. This doesn't make me feel good. This joke. So I think
fair enough. So Son, I think, changes the way the league sort of is. Like, he's like, to me, Mueller is part of the, we've seen the aging DP come to MLS in the past. Son, to me, feels like a little bit of a sea change here with, you're getting someone a lot closer to their prime who was a massive, massive star for one of the biggest teams in Europe. So with that, the Gammy goes to Thomas Mueller, the space investigator, simply because, he led his team to MLS Cup this year and put a already really, really good Vancouver team over the top. And I'm going to choose to believe, based on that breaking news, that he was also responsible for saving the team right there. Yeah. So also, thank you to Thomas Mueller.
Mueller wasn't a DP.
That is true. He is TAM. He is a TAM option until he picks up the order.
He's a 2026 DP.
Son.
So congratulations, congratulations to Hyunmin Son. There we go. All right, congratulations. We have a late disqualification right here. All right. So next category for the Gammy is Vote of the Year.
Now, is this the fall to spring schedule, or is this still a? Is this a 2024-25?
This is 2025.
Just
2025. 2025 votes only here.
Okay, well, so then I don't have a nominee.
The nominees are Zoran Mamdani versus Chris Cuomo for the NYC mayor gig. The vote to reopen the government. The vote on the big, beautiful bill. And MLS Board of Governors votes to go to the winter schedule. A lot of good votes happened this year. I do bring up the Mamdani vote because he is attempting to insert himself into World Cup ticket pricing. What he probably needs to insert himself into is World Cup hotel pricing, because I saw a tweet earlier today that the average cost of a hotel room in most of these World Cup host cities is around $2,000 to $3,000 a night, even for like a Hampton Inn. Like, that better be the best continental breakfast you have ever had in your life.
Everybody's got their hand out right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a sneaky one that you can pair with the winter schedule, because I think they're going to put a roof over all the stadiums.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, possibly
a roof over every head.
Yeah,
that's a good campaign for
heads.
Yeah. Housing's a big issue right now. Housing MLS teams, really big issue in New York, unfortunately.
Yeah, and Vancouver.
But the Gammy does go to the MLS Board of Governors, votes to go to the winter schedule. A vote that had been postponed at least once, meaning that we won't make this switch when it happens to make the most sense, which would have been right after the World Cup. We've talked about it. It's a vote that continues to have repercussions around the league. Kevin, you're still a fan of this vote. You were happy about this vote.
I am still happy about this vote. I am sad that it took the league this long to do it. Since they are now going to do it, they should have done it this World Cup. Honestly, I still think that they should try to figure out a way to do it right now.
Yeah, I agree with you on this. All right, we've got the controversy of the year. Controversy of the year. All right, the first nominee for the Gammy for controversy of the year is fans being asked to take off MAGA hats at RSL and St. Louis City FC. Big year for, I thought this was America. I thought we had freedom of speech in this country. So, not quite. Lionel Messi being suspended for missing the All-Star game. And Hugo Lloris blaming artificial turf for his inability to advance with LAFC in the MLS Cup playoffs presented by Audi as discussed by the World's Gam. So it was,
I think we're missing one.
Ooh.
There's other categories later.
Okay.
Yeah. So given that, any strong feelings right here? I was a big fan, honestly, this year of Hugo Lloris just deciding that I'm going to blame an artificial surface that both teams have to play on for, I think he got megged on one of the goals. I don't know.
He sure did. And I don't know that turf was going to save him or stop that either way. I will say the number of people who were passionately defending Messi and Suarez from not being suspended was so funny, given that the year prior they were not suspended for doing exactly the same thing. Just like the perfect controversy. Just like everybody is right and everybody is wrong.
So I think with that, we're ready to hand out the award. Controversy of the year goes to fans being asked to take off MAGA hats in RSL and St. Louis.
I don't like this one.
No. Well, I mean, take it up with the Academy.
I mean, we said our piece on it, but there's something pathetic about like making a scene out in public. I don't care what for, solely for the purposes of recording it and trying to go viral.
Yes. They're
like,
not advancing some civil right.
Both of those videos were embarrassing for the person taking the video. And I don't care what your politics are.
There really should be some mechanism. Like, the part of the problem with everything about online discourse now is that if you go viral, you start to make money from the impressions. But there should all be something that we can do as a society that reverses that, where you're going viral and money is being taken out of your account the more views something does. And if, like, you go viral for the wrong reasons, like, if you go viral for beating up a homeless person or making a fool of yourself doing something like this, there should be a way where we all vote and a switch gets flipped, and when you log on to your bank account, all of a sudden you're overdrafted by, like, $40 million, and you're just destitute.
Did you see that? This is an epidemic. I agree. Something has to be done.
Yes.
Have you seen... And I'm sorry to go back to like this one specific kind of example, but I'm sure you guys have seen the video of the dude with the Trump shirt sitting on the plane, like nodding at the people walking by and whatever, and like filming himself. Like he's looking at the camera and he's like nodding to people and looking at the camera because he's like, you know, being so epic or whatever. The guy looks like he's on the verge of tears. If you look him in the face, he looks like if somebody talked to him, he would break down crying. Like this is unstable behavior, and we need to come up with ideas to stop it.
I've got a proposal. It's a little classist, but I think we could offer a government subsidy here. A social media bond is necessary to join. You got to put up a couple $1,000s that you're staking on being polite in society, right? And then you know, something happens. Everybody can throw down votes or negative votes towards you, and you forfeit your bond.
You should be allowed. If you're a civilian, you should be allowed to fight somebody who films you.
Yeah.
I don't know that you should be able to fight. I don't know that you should be able to fight.
You should get one free punch.
I was going to say either
punch back.
I would say either a free slap, or if you are being filmed, I think that you should have the right to smack the phone out of somebody's hand.
Oh, absolutely.
And if it breaks, so you know, make your slap good, because if you break it, then that just ruins someone's day with a trip to the Apple store.
Look, not a lawyer here, but I think the solution is camera out equals fighting.
That's fighting.
Like,
yeah,
you have initiated.
It's a threat. Yeah.
Yeah, you have initiated something hostile here.
Yeah, like if you're familiar with playing a video game, you've drawn your weapon at that point. That is your weapon in modern society.
The battle music is playing.
The boss music starts as soon as you do that. Like you go aggro at that point.
It is kind of like it is kind of like the stand your ground stuff where like you can pick a fight and then you start to like lose it. And then you kind of get free reign at that point to like blow the person away.
Right. You have no duty to retreat.
It's your word against theirs. And it's like, if you get into any type of like incident with somebody or encounter with somebody in public, the first person who pulls their phone out, well, first of all, that then makes the other person kind of more upset. Right. And for some reason, it's the person who didn't pull their phone out first that is generally received as the unreasonable one. We should reverse that presumption.
So are you saying it should be okay to say, like, what happened? I thought he was reaching for a phone.
Yeah.
Yes. Wait. I don't know. Oh, yeah. No.
Disavow? Disavow. All right.
What's the next award there, Chief?
All right. Next up is Delusional Pro-Rel Take of the Year.
I love this.
All right. First one is from ex-user The Chris Kessel, famous on Pro-Rel Twitter if you find yourself there. This is a quote. Quote, I took 30 seconds to explain USL and them getting hashtag Pro-Rel for USA to a teen visiting my house. His response was, that sounds awesome. Way better than MLS. He had no idea what USL was. He had never heard of it.
That's good.
Hoops Among Us hasn't had a teen visiting our house that we immediately started to talk to about Pro-Rel.
See, and I was just reeling in social media. One of my favorite kinds of tweets are the ones where somebody just invents like, oh, my child walked in the room and saw a video of Trump speaking and said, Mommy, what is wrong with that man's soul? Right? Like it's like and everyone does it.
Wasn't there was the one that went viral that was like Ruth Conda forever or something like that?
Yeah, Ruth Conda forever.
So good. And the child's always too young. It's like my 3-year-old was asking me about tariffs. It's like, no, they were.
No, your 3-year-old was asking you for more money to buy Roblox. Let's be real here.
And then there's often the one that people like to do where it's like, I tried to explain socialism to my 4-year-old, and they said, well, how are you going to do that without causing a famine in half of the country?
Yeah,
right. What happens when you run out of other people's money to spend? All right, so that's the Chris Kessel. Next comes to us from Reform U.S. Soccer. This is again, quote, on X, the everything app. It's all happening on X. Quote, relegation is the classroom. Promotion is the diploma you've worked hard to earn. MLS is the diploma mill that ships you your cap and gown with no exam required as long as you pay the fee.
MLS is Harvard in this scenario.
Yeah,
like
every
what's hard
MLS
is getting
team
in, but once you get in, you're set.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Whereas Pro-Rel is like the people that list like went to the school of hard knocks, baby.
Yeah, it's hustle culture versus like legacy admissions.
And then the final nominee for Delusional Pro-Rel Take of the Year comes to us from @USLHQ, the official account of USL. Promotion and relegation is coming. The USL becomes the first professional sports league in the U.S. to adopt this global system, marking a major milestone that will reshape the future of American soccer.
As soon as they implement it, which is always 2 to 3 years away.
In a few years, we're almost there. We're almost ready for it. It reminds me of the episode of The Simpsons where they visit the future. And it's like we've frozen Mr. Burns' body and we're going to unthaw him as soon as we figure out how to cure 15 stab wounds to the back. We're up to 12.
The answer's got to be the guy who apparently just has teens visit his house on a regular basis. Which you could say, well, maybe he's got a teenage child, which is possible. But wouldn't you say like my child's friend?
Yeah, wouldn't you try to like explain what was happening quickly?
I was alone at my house, and a teen came in, as often happens.
As one does.
You have to leave. You have to leave the house. Surrender the house to the teen. There's
no
it's version of this where you
as was the style at the time.
Imagine this guy's got like this completely unkempt yard, like 6 foot high grass, leaves everywhere. Kid sees it and he's like kind of enterprising, and he's like, hey man, I could tell you have like physical and mental disabilities. Can I mow your lawn, rake your leaves and stuff? And you're like, and he's like, yeah, but first let me tell you about Pro-Rel and USL.
You ever hear about the United Soccer Leagues?
Well, the Gammy goes to, that's right, the United Soccer League HQ for announcing that Pro-Rel is coming to the USL at some point, believing this is what will bring it to competition with MLS. So the epitome of let me know how that works out for you.
I don't think they will ever implement it.
All right, so I'm
rooting for them, but yes.
We've got 2 more awards to give out this year.
Okay.
Next one, the penultimate award, Event of the Year.
Ooh, please.
Okay, so the nominees are the U.S. Open Cup, the Leagues Cup,
Okay.
the MLS All-Star Game Skills Game featuring I Show Speed,
Okay.
and the Club World Cup. A lot of big events that happened this year. All of those, I think, are equivalent to one another. So it's going to be really difficult to figure out which of these exactly we like. I did, other than the fact that I had to watch some streamer act a fool, I did enjoy the skills game. I wish Goalie Wars was a bigger thing because I just like saying Goalie Wars.
That's good.
It feels like a competition in
Grayson,
Tron.
Question for you. Was there a Campeones Cup this year?
Yes. Yes, there was.
Who was in it?
Galaxy.
Oh, yeah.
And a Mexican
Azul?
team. I think Galaxy won.
If Galaxy won Campeones Cup,
No,
I'm gonna give my
Toluca won 3-2.
No, we don't need to nominate.
No.
Galaxy was up 2-1. Toluca scored in the 88th and the 90 plus 4th minute.
It sounds like a really good game if anybody gave a shit.
It was October 1st.
Which they didn't.
October 1st? I would not have told you what month that was in.
I didn't even know. Yeah, I have no idea when October 1st is either.
That's definitely what I meant.
I think it's sometime in August, right?
Yeah. It's somewhere
could be
between August and September.
I think
somewhere
it falls. Doesn't it fall on a different day every year?
Yeah, it
depends on like when Easter is.
Yeah, when the fall equinox is, you have to go like 2 weeks past that, and it's on the second Thursday following the fall equinox.
If New Year's is on a Thursday or later, it's like all screwed up.
Yeah, well, you gotta depending on like what denomination you are. If you follow the liturgical calendar, it should be.
I follow
18.
the Gnostic calendar.
Yeah, so then in that case, it's 19 weeks post Eastern Easter.
Right. I follow the agnostic calendar. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what month it is.
Right.
The agnostic calendar has 13 months, by the way.
Yeah.
It's none of our business. It's none of our business how many months there are.
Stop asking.
Right. A calendar may exist or a calendar may not exist. It just doesn't impact
stuff
me
happens
personally.
before, stuff happens later.
Who can really say?
Who can say?
All right. And so, given that, the event of the year, the Gammy goes to the Club World Cup. Club World Cup, great event this summer. MLS did okay. They certainly showed up.
Yeah.
A little disappointing from LAFC. I enjoyed LAFC's run because I follow a little bit of their local media culture with the Happy Foot Sad Foot podcast. Big fan of them. Shout out. They were all ready to commit ritualistic self-termination, so to speak, as the kids say, following LAFC's performance in the final round of
sewer slide.
That sounds fun.
Little KYS action, I guess. But it turned out LAFC was all right. Maybe they wish they had Sun for that tournament. But Inter Miami advances. Seattle Sounders tried really hard. That's always a cool thing.
Yeah. Miami beat Porto? Do I have that right? Do I remember that right? What was the thing?
Miami
right.
advanced.
Miami advanced. I think they beat Porto.
LAFC put up a good fight against Chelsea. That was cool to see. The tournament was also the Brazilian teams. That was cool to see a little bit of the
there was
European
definitely
supremacy.
Brazilian teams in it.
Yeah, the Brazilian teams cracked the European supremacy a little. Enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So yeah, congratulations to the Club World Cup for winning the Gammy. Which brings us to the final award, and this is one that I'm very happy about. This is sort of like the biggest award you can win, I think, at the Gammies. This is the first annual World's Gam Peace Prize.
Wow.
I know. It's definitely not a made-up award for this year and this year only. The first annual World's Gam Peace Prize. And we've got some great nominees here. All right. So the first nominee is Luis Suarez, nominated for the peace that he brings onto soccer fields. Just a paragon, a stand-up human being who I think we could all choose to emulate ourselves after. The next nominee is Leo Messi. Just because.
I mean,
What
sure.
award in MLS wouldn't be complete without Leo Messi being nominated for that?
Like this.
The next nominee is Ernst Tanner.
No.
This is what I was waiting for.
Oh, no.
And then the final nominee for the World's Game Peace Prize is, let's all say it at the same time, Donald Trump.
J. Trump. Oh, wow. I'm over here using a correct title. Jeez.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
John Donald Trump.
JD Trump?
J. Pierpont Donald Trump.
Baron Trump.
So I mean, this is a tough vote right here.
So I think that there's two ways you can kind of unite the world, right?
Okay.
One is, through your example, through your leadership, through kind of exhibiting through your actions and your character, kind of like that common good that like we all recognize as like the core of humanity, no matter where you're from. And the other one is being so fully repellent that you just align the entire world against you.
And I think between not that.
And I think between the two of these, we do have a paragon of one of them. And so I feel like the only choice here is Ernst Tanner.
Could I make the case for Johnny Infantino winning the Peace Prize?
Not a nominee, unfortunately. I don't know. I don't know what went into that.
I just think that it's very peaceful.
His votes were lost in the mail ballot.
Yeah. So here's the problem right here is that when you look at who should win this award, there's obviously you can make arguments as to for each of these gentlemen. In terms of who is most likely to retweet if we announce that he has won an award, I do think you have to give it to Donald Jonald because maybe there's a chance.
We don't have a Truth Social.
We do need a Truth Social.
We need to start a Truth Social.
So we got to create a Truth Social, put it on Truth Social, try to get the Donald Jonald retruth, and then that bot that posts his truths on Twitter will post the retruth on Twitter, and that's how we get the World's Games name.
And then we screenshot that and put that onto Blue Sky just to infuriate everyone. And that's how we win.
That's how we finally get the World's Game noticed by 7 million Nigerians.
I'd say if we post the screenshot on Blue Sky, we might get kicked off of Blue Sky, so that could be a problem too.
It'd be funny to be like, congratulations, Donald Jonald, for your Peace Prize. Please don't repost this.
Your eyes only.
Classified. Read it in a
It does
skiff.
come with a cash value. To be determined.
Of 2 Trump coins.
Right. No, of as much gam and tam as you need. As much allocation money as you need for the federal government.
Honestly, yeah, he can have as much allocation money as he wants.
Yeah.
Well,
we'll make some calls.
Unfortunately, the winner of the World's Gam Peace Prize is Leo Messi, is the winner of the World's Gam Peace Prize.
Yep.
Yeah.
So close.
So close.
Noble winner there. I think that's great.
Because when you think of other people that have won the Peace Prize,
I'll tell you, I've never heard Messi say an angry word or bad word about anybody.
Right. And if you what I want people to think of is when you think of the Peace Prize and the Soccer Peace Prize, I want one of the first 2 names that comes to mind to be Donald Jonald. And when you think of Donald Jonald, I want you to think of Leo Messi at the same time. I want you just to associate those 2 names as kindred spirits who are both winners of the Peace Prize. Oh. And so whenever you think of one, I want you to think of the other.
I think that's good.
And you know what?
I think it's good. Should we just I'm spitballing here, Chief. Shoot this down if you want. Should it be the Landon Donovan first annual World's Game Peace Prize? Because I think it's very funny if Messi keeps winning awards named after Landon Donovan.
I mean, what if it's the Donald Jonald World's Game?
Donald J. Trump.
No. The Donald Jonald.
The Donald Jonald.
It's the Donald Jonald first annual World's Game
Peace Prize.
Awarded to Leo Messi.
Presented by Continental Tire.
And Audi. But only those two.
We got to get our social media guy to do the graphic up for this.
I can't wait to get 2 C&Ds.
we might get 4. Let's use Messi's little logo.
Oh yeah, Messi is in litigation right now with like Logan Paul or Jake Paul over their various energy drink companies. So he will sue you.
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah, good. Well, if you want to sue us, we're easy to find. I dare you to sue us, Leo. I dare you. You don't got the balls.
Because you know what happened? You know what you got to do when you get sued?
And
when you sue, you have to, Chief,
release the tapes, baby.
The World's Gam is a production of The Post Cincy. You can check us out online at thepostcincy.com, where you can find out more information about the people putting this podcast together. I also want to give a huge thank you to Jim Trace and the Makers, a fantastic band that has provided us with all of the music in this episode. The voiceover work at the beginning of the episode was done by Steph E., which was paid for her time and also not an AI voice. And if you have liked what you have heard so far, or even if you haven't, I am begging you, please like us, rate us, review us, leave us 5 stars. That would be amazing. Leave a little note saying how much you liked it. But maybe more importantly, share this with a friend or mention us to another fan of an MLS team. I think that would be a lovely way to help our little community grow. But regardless of whether or not you liked it, whether or not you share it, whether or not you review it, I want to say thank you for listening to it.